from the Marca of Athena. Until she met the exploding statue, Annabeth thought she was prepared for anything. She paced the deck of the Argo II, checking and double-checking the ballistae to make sure they were locked down. She confirmed that the white flag was flying from the mast. She reviewed the plan with the rest of the crew, and the backup plan, and the backup plan for the backup plan. Most importantly, she pulled aside their war-crazed chaperone, Gleason Hedge, and encouraged him to take the morning off in his cabin, watching reruns of mixed martial arts championships. The last thing they needed, flying a magical Greek trireme into a potentially hostile Roman camp, was a middle-aged satyr in gym clothes waving a club and yelling, "Die!" Everything seemed to be in order. Even that mysterious chill that she'd been feeling since the ship launched seems to have dissipated for now. The warship descended through the clouds, but Annabeth couldn't stop second-guessing herself. What if this was a bad idea? What if the Romans panicked and attacked on sight? The Argo II definitely did not look friendly. 200 feet long with a bronze-plated hull, a flaming metal dragon for a masthead, mounted repeating crossbows fore and aft, and 2 rotating ballistae amidship that could fire explosive bolts powerful enough to blast through concrete. Well, it wasn't the most appropriate ride for a meet and greet with the neighbors. Annabeth had tried to give the Romans a heads up. She'd asked Leo to send one of his special inventions, a holographic scroll, to alert their friends in the camp. Hopefully, the message had gotten through. Leo had wanted to paint a giant message on the bottom of the hull. With a smiley face. But Annabeth had vetoed the idea. She wasn't sure the Romans had a sense of humor. Too late to turn back now. The clouds broke around their hull, revealing the golden green carpet of the Oakland Hills below them. Annabeth gripped the bronze shields that lined the side of the starboard railing. Her 3 crewmates took their places. On the stern quarterdeck, Leo rushed around like a madman, checking his gauges and wrestling with levers. Most helmsmen would have been satisfied with a pilot's wheel or a rudder. Leo had installed a keyboard, a monitor, aviation controls from a Learjet, a dubstep soundboard, and motion control sensors from a Nintendo Wii. He could turn the ship by pulling throttle, fire weapons by sampling an album, or he could raise the sails by shaking his Wii controllers really fast. Even by demigod standards, Leo was seriously ADHD. Piper paced back and forth between the main mast and the ballista, practicing her lines. "Lower your weapons," she murmured. "We just want to talk." Her charm speak was so powerful, the words flowed over Annabeth, filling her with the desire to drop her dagger and have a nice long chat. For a child of Aphrodite, Piper tried really hard to play down her beauty. Today she was wearing tattered jeans, torn sneakers, and a white tank top with pink Hello Kitty designs. Maybe a joke, though Annabeth could never be sure, Piper. Her choppy brown hair was braided down one side with an eagle's feather. And then there was Piper's boyfriend, Jason. He stood at the bow on a raised crossbow platform where the Romans could easily spot him. His knuckles were white on the hilt of his sword. Otherwise, he looked calm for a guy who was making himself a target. Over his jeans and his orange Campak Blood t-shirt, he donned a toga and a purple cloak, the symbols of his old rank as praetor. With his wind-ruffled blonde hair and his icy blue eyes, he looked ruggedly handsome and in control, just like a son of Jupiter should. He'd grown up at camp, so hopefully his familiar face would make the Romans hesitate to blow them out of the sky. Annabeth tried to hide it, but she didn't completely trust that guy. He acted too perfect, always following the rules, always doing the honorable thing. He even looked too perfect. In the back of her mind, she had this nagging thought. What if this is a trick and he betrays us? What if we sail into Camp Jupiter and he says, "Hey, Romans, check out these prisoners and this cool ship I brought you"? Annabeth didn't think that would happen. Still, she couldn't look at him without getting a bitter taste in her mouth. He'd been part of Hera's forced exchange program between the two camps. Without warning, Hera had plucked up Percy Jackson, Annabeth's boyfriend, wiped his memory, and sent him to the Roman camp. In exchange, the Greeks got Jason. That wasn't Jason's fault, but every time Annabeth saw him, she remembered how much she missed Percy. Percy, who might be below them somewhere right now. Oh, gods. Panic welled up inside her. She forced it down. She couldn't afford to get overwhelmed now. I'm a child of Athena. So I have to stick to my plan and not get distracted. And then she felt it again. That familiar shiver, as if an evil snowman had crept up behind her and was peering over her neck. She turned, but of course no one was there. It must be her nerves. Annabeth wished she could pray to her mother for guidance, but that wasn't possible. Not since last month, when she had the worst encounter with her mom ever and gotten a terrible, terrible present. The cold pressed closer. She thought she heard a faint voice in the wind, like laughter. Every muscle in her body tensed. Something was about to go terribly wrong. She almost ordered Leo to reverse course, and then, in the valley below, horns sounded. The Romans had spotted them. And that's the beginning.